back to my video series. This one is entitled Patriots Love or Hate the Constitution, the Fourth Amendment. Now, there is nothing in this world that the Patriots hate more than the Fourth Amendment. They get so triggered when you explain to them what the Fourth Amendment is and what it does and how it's applied. They will freak. I mean, they'll block you like really quickly if you're talking to them online, or even if you're hanging out and you're having a beer and you're talking to somebody about, what your rights are and this and that. They'll look at you because they cannot believe that anyone would exercise the Fourth Amendment, and they think that this is just plain wrong. Okay, so basically what the Fourth Amendment does is it protects against it's an anti-police amendment, or in totality it's anti-police. It basically says that the police cannot just search you, get your papers, papers please, get your ID. They can't go through your stuff. They can't go through your house. They can't go through your car unless they have, specific evidence, or they have a warrant, or, in most cases that you allow them to do it, by waiving your rights. It's called waiving your rights. So, I'll just go over a couple of these. So, the whole papers please thing. I mean, this is like what Nazi Germany did, and America is not like that. We're not a paper please society, but the police unions are really pushing hard for this paper please stuff. They want your ID. They've been indoctrinating people through these public schools forever, where they do not teach you what these rights are. Okay. Probably 99% of the people who watch this video will say, oh, well, when a cop asks me for my ID, I have to give it to him. Well, it's just, you've been programmed to believe that. I mean, you want to talk about, programming and, media. Well, your education system is the biggest way, that they've programmed you to give up these rights, and this is just not conspiracy stuff. This is real examples. So basically, if you're just somewhere, or you're an innocent bystander, or the cop's just like fishing for stuff and he asks for your ID, I mean, you can just say, no, thank you. I mean, the only time that you really have to give your ID, if you're not doing anything wrong, if you're just, hey, I'm not doing anything wrong, is when you're driving. If you're driving and you created a traffic infraction, you have to give them your ID, right? But if you're a passenger in your car, no way. If you roll into a checkpoint, you do have to give them your ID, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. I've seen some people roll through checkpoints and do ID refusals through checkpoints and stuff like that. So I'm not a complete expert on the checkpoints. But the other thing is the bag stuff, like what's in the bag? Mind if I search your bag? Can I look in your bag? They're always expecting you to, give up these rights, kind of freeze and not know what to do, and, kind of panic, and you allow them to search, and you think, even maybe if you have something in your bag, you got like, weed or something in your bag, and you're afraid to say anything, and you're afraid to say no because you'll make it worse on yourself, when they do find it. But you're afraid to say yes because you don't want them to look through the bag. So what do? Okay. You always just say no. You say, no, thank you. I'd like to exercise my rights. You're not getting in this bag. Okay. Allowing them to search your bag, and if they find something, will never help you. Okay. It's not like you get bonus points for being cooperative with the police. And it's not like they're going to find something and say, oh, you know what? Yeah, okay, but you were really nice to me, so here, I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to let you go with a warning. No, that's not how the criminal justice system works. Okay, but when you explain this to the patriots, I mean, they get so triggered because they say, well, if a cop asks for my ID, I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm going to give it to him. Or, why can't you just give him your ID? I don't see what the problem is. Or, they'll come up with all these excuses why, you should give them your ID, like this is Nazi Germany. I mean, it's just the principle of the fact. I mean, we fought the Germans, right? I mean, this isn't North Korea. We fly a flag and we say that we're free, and, we love our freedom. But yet, when, the government comes around and they want to, intrude on your rights, you're going to make a decision. You're going to say, I'm just, doing nothing. I'm standing around doing nothing. It's none of their business. Or you're going to bow down to them and give them what they want. I mean, Some people might want to do that. Some people might think, oh, it's just more polite. I'll just do this. It'll just go quicker. But I mean, based on my experience, I don't know. I'm a man of principle. I mean, I love freedom, and I don't want to live in a jackboot society. I don't want, this Nazi paper please crap. Um, and I do want to challenge that because it's just, it's just the principle of the fact. If you're not going to live on your principles and you're not going to live, to be free, I mean, you might as well be living in North Korea. Hell, they want you to feel like you are living in North Korea, and it's really kind of insulting actually when the cop asks for your ID and they don't really have a reason to get it. I mean, they really think that you're a sucker and they're really intruding on your space, and they think that they have the authority to do it, and they don't. The only way that they have the authority to do it is if you grant them to them. It's like inviting a vampire into your home. They can't get into your home until you invite them. I mean, this is the same kind of thing. But like I said, when you explain this to a patriot, I mean, nothing floors them more, and I don't understand. If I was a patriot and I said, "Oh, I love the flag and I love my freedom and I love Trump and I love the Constitution," but the first time the jackboots come around, they bend their knee and they bow down to them, and they act like that they're not free and they don't want to be free. I don't understand that. Why do you not want to be free? So ask a patriot next time what they think about the Fourth Amendment, and you'll see. You'll probably get blocked, but if you're at a party, just kind of run it past them and ask them. But wait and see, wait for the triggering. It is the best.